Hi, I'm Sean O'Neely. I'm a sculptor here in Colorado Springs. Can you hear me?
Louder.
Louder. Okay. It's Sean. I'm a sculptor here in Colorado Springs, but I've been associated with the Business of Art Center in Manitou Springs for years and years. Through organizational planning, through having art shows there, etc. I have a national reputation. That's not exactly a stretch, but I have a national reputation for art doing something quite different from what I'm about to tell you about. In 1996, the director of the Business of Art Center, COPPER, at that time, asked me and Louis Ciccatello if we could brainstorm on ideas about programming at the Business of Art Center that would expand to include contemporary sculpture, perhaps with national audience, national attention. We came up with a couple of ideas at that meeting, but one of the ideas popped into my head was seeing a line of empty chairs down the middle of Manitou Avenue. I thought that would be unusual. It would be the largest art project attempted in the region, and it would draw national attention, and it would engage a lot of people. So, 15 years later, we're getting around to, I've been busy. 15 years later, we're getting around to realizing the project. And just at the beginning of this year, actually we started resurrecting the project due to the Art Creates Community contest of last year from the Bradenburg and Gay and Lesbian Fund. We thought this was a project that would really fit that, and in conversations with Susan Edmondson and some other people, we thought that this particular project would go beyond the expected scope of the Art Creates Community project of that year. But anyway, we started to flesh out the project, flesh out the idea, and just to make this chair installation happen, turns out it's going to involve an entire community. I have slides I could show you, but I'm just going to talk over it because that's going to go too slow. It's going to slow me down. I only have 10 minutes, right? 8 minutes. 7 minutes. The idea, if you haven't heard, is to shut down Manitou Avenue between South Path, which is near the Business of Art Center, and Tubby's Turnaround, which is near Tubby's Turnaround. Close down the downtown section of the Manitou Avenue, clear all the pedestrians, all the cars off the street, and then take 1,000 chairs from those Manitou residents and bring them into the center of the street, line them up in a single line, empty chairs, all facing the sunrise, and photograph it. And the intention is that this photograph will show Manitou in a way it's never been seen before. It'll be an expression of art, sort of higher art than, say, rubber tomahawks and trinkets, or even portraits of Pike's Peak, which are ubiquitous, as they should be. But this is a different kind of art idea that would attract a different kind of audience to pay attention to the art that's being created in this region. The installation, as we've planned it so far, is, well, part of the project, the conception of the project is to include as many people as possible, to ask permission from the community to use their cityscape, and to engage their participation in actually making it happen. I, as an artist, I don't own a town. I don't own 1,000 chairs, so this thing could not happen without the participation and the willingness of that community. In order, and as I'm an outsider, as I present this project to the City Council and anybody in Manitou Springs, I say, you know, I'm from out of town. I'm Colorado Springs, downtown. My business is concerned with another area of focus in art. I don't need this to happen. If it won't happen if you don't want it, kick me out if you'd like. But everywhere we've presented the idea, we've been heartily received, well received. Liz Zago, the director of curator of art programming at the Business Art Center, their only full-time employees, and hand out there's some flyers here with some more information about the project. So the project, as conceived, is not to force something upon the community of Manitou, not to stress their social systems, not to stress their way of life in any way. So we've chosen to, one, not ask them for any money. Two, we're going to stage the art installation in the off-season and very early in the morning. This will take place between 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock a.m. on Sunday, October 9. Rain date would be the next day, Monday, October 10th, which is a holiday. This does us a couple of things. One, it allows us all those businesses to say, well, this will even impact my business negatively because I don't even open until 10. And this also allows us to make use of the students of Manitou Springs High School and Middle School to be our chair wranglers. And we have been putting together this big chair posse, and made up of Manitou residents and all kinds of volunteers stepping up. And we're going to also have access to school chairs if we need that many chairs from the schools. So let's see. The project has quite a few different aspects to it. It's kind of hard to explain them all in 10 minutes. It usually takes me about 30 minutes to explain the project and then stop and correct some misconceptions. One, this is not an art installation. This is an art installation for the purpose of a photograph. And just to make it, expands the art project to include this community. So this is a kind of art that is called social practice. It's the hottest field of art in contemporary art circles today. It's also one that is a sort of a sweetheart of funding organizations, arts funding organizations, because it does create community. It engages the community, and at one point during this installation, let me just describe the installation the day of a little bit. There's an hour of setup, and then there's an hour where we have employed 16 of the 17 employees who work for the Manitou City Public Works Department. They're going to set up barricades and hold crowds back for this 3-hour period, let's say. It's actually 4 hours, but we divide it up into 3 parts. The first hour is set up. The middle hour, or the middle time period, is when a dozen photographers and video film people will have coordinated access to this space. So it'll be sort of a pristine space, highly controlled. No crowds, no people in the space. This crew of photographers and filmmakers is connected by walkie-talkie. We'll have a flow chart and locations where everybody's located to begin the event, to record, to capture, image capture the installation, excuse me. And once that's done, the last time period, we will drop the barricades down and allow the people of Manitou to come into the space. And they will be able to find their chairs. They will be able to have perhaps a visible experience about being in that space, seeing this line of chairs go on as far as they can see, and then they'll meet one another. We might have them all get into their chairs and take another photograph. This is one of Rocky's wishes, is that we're able to do that. So we actually modified our project to include that opportunity, that possibility, that we'll be able to get a photograph of that community. During that time, there will also be performances, commissioned performances of art. We'll have opera, solos being sung during the empty space period. You know, that's kind of a haunting image. You know, it's all about people, and yet there are no people. All of these chairs emptied, waiting to be filled, no people in them, nobody nearby. So imagine opera, Mario, being sung down the avenue. And then in that other performances planned, I hear that there may be sort of a flash mob dance event, or physical performance dance, modern dance thing. I was told that, it was hearsay. I said, that sounds great, don't tell me any more. I will let you know what our schedule is, but we welcome that sort of thing. So there's something like that's going to happen I'm not even sure about. We're going to have some of the residents of Manitou who are musicians do a sort of a bugle clarion call from above in the neighborhoods, over behind the streets and on the rooftops and stuff like this. There's going to be theater works, theater pieces done there, public street performance. We're hiring Jim Jackson and Brigitte Dupree to do some things, return to Manitou, and these things happen in the last hour.